Hey guys, it's Beetle here, and welcome back to another tier list ranking thingy. As you can see, my screen looks a little different right now. You can see there's like a picture in the top left corner over there. So yeah, I'm just putting that over there because I just want to show off my new OC, I guess, and that's what I'll put on my videos from now on. Anyway, let's get into it. This ranking, we're doing Hollow Knight characters. So, if you don't know what Hollow Knight is, it's a type of Metroidvania, which is created by Team Cherry, which is a group of I think 3 people, which created this game. It's a pretty fun game, and if you haven't checked it out yet, you really should. It's on Steam. I think it's $15, but it's one of the best $15 you'll ever spend. But whatever. So we're getting into the bosses today. So let's do it. First on the list, I think this is Absolute Radiance. So Absolute Radiance is the final boss you fight. So this guy, I fought him like twice. I haven't beat him in Radiance mode, which means like you die in one hit. So I like this boss a lot, but I like a lot of bosses better than this one. It's a really good end game boss. So I'm gonna put this in S tier, but it's not the highest S tier, if you know what I mean. Um, Next is Broken Vessel. Yeah, Broken Vessel. So, you fight this in the Abyss. No, you fight this in the Ancient Basin. So, this guy is really fun to fight against because he's like the same height as you, and like, it's kind of like, it's kind of just like a 1v1 situation, like you're fighting against another player or something like that. So, I really like this guy. I also like his Lost Kin version as well, where it's like he spawns like orange orange bosses or something like that. Not orange bosses. Orange creatures which come and try to attack you and all that. Overall, it's a really fun boss. So I'm gonna put this in B tier. What I would like change about this boss is like make the stagger a little faster because I could heal like 3 times in between it, and I would like this boss to be like super fast paced, which I don't think it is right now. But Lost Kin would go in A. I think this is Lost Kin, but Broken Vessel goes down there. Next we have Brooding Moloch. Brooding Moloch is like one of those bosses where you just don't know they're there, but you have to go out of the way to find them. So yeah, I don't like this boss like that much. Is like a pretty average boss in my opinion, but I'm gonna put it in D tier because it's like I don't like its attacks a lot, and plus like when you're fighting against it in pantheons, it's just like, oh, let me kill this thing and move on. It's not really that fun anymore, if you know what I mean. Once you get like later in the game. Next we have Oro and Mato. Oro and Mato is one of like the best bosses in the game. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, it's a good boss, but it's not the best. I'm not saying it's the best. I would say it's better than good at least, because it's like, it's the boss has like a storyline to it, kind of like the Hollow Knight, which we'll get into. It's like my thing is, oh yeah, Oro comes down, you fight him. It's like, oh, well, he's just weak. You like beat him super easily, and then Mato comes in. You're like, oh hell breaks loose. The first time I fought these guys, I mean, it took ages for me because I just had no idea how to like dodge their attacks, and then I watched the videos about Descending Dark and all that stuff. Had to go get that, so yeah, I went all the way through without using Descending Dark until I got to God Home on my first playthrough. So yeah, I'm gonna put this boss in A tier above Lost Kin. Next, we have, cause yeah, Guardian, Crystal Guardian, and Enraged Crystal Guardian. Overall, very average boss. I don't know why they made a second version of this boss, which does double damage, but because of that, I have to put it in like D tier. I'm sorry, but it's not really that memorable of a boss. Yeah. Next, we have the Dung Defender. Dung Defender, I love a lot. Dung Defender is like one of those bosses which like it gives you kind of like a warmth fighting it because you just feel the personality of the guy. But yeah, his attacks are great. He gets way more easier in Pantheons once you get access to Descending Dark. So because of that, I'm gonna put him in like B tier reliefs. Elder Who or Wu? No, it's Elder Wu or Who. I don't know which one it is, but this guy, this guy, I'ma put in like. I just don't feel as strong about him. He's not average. I just don't like this boss. It's like if this boss wasn't in the game, I don't think anything different would have occurred. People were like he was the last boss I fought because I had no idea where this kid was. So and because of that, I'm giving him F tier. And plus his attacks are like super standard. They're not really that fun to fight against. Wait, this is yeah, you're going in there as well. You're going like Malik. I think this is false. No, that's false knight. I don't know which one this is. What's his name? Failed knight. I think. Yeah, failed champion. Yeah, failed champion. So failed champion is a great upgrade to false knight. I like all of his attacks. I like how he does double damage as well. I like how the rocks fall at higher speed. He was the first dream boss which I fought, which made it super hard for me to fight against, and because of that, I'm gonna give him like a B tier. False Knight is a C tier because False Knight is a C tier because I like the design of the boss as the first boss, but overall it just becomes way easier in Pantheons and all that. Okay, next we have Massive Moss Charger. Moss Charger is one thing and one thing only, which lands it in C. C for cute, because this guy's cute as fuck. You can't tell me that this guy ain't cute. Look at him. You just want to cuddle this guy. Look at him. He's like fuzzy. I want to hug this guy a lot. His attacks aren't anything special, but he lands in C because he's cute. Fluke Nest. I'm pretty sure. Let me just. I think it's Fluke Nest. Yeah. Fluke Nest. No, it's a Fluke Marm. Which one is it? No, Fluke. What the fuck is Fluke Marm? Yeah, Fluke Marm. So, Fluke Marm, boring boss. I like the concept, but it's boring. It's like you just do Howling Shrieks until you kill it, and because of that, I'm gonna put it in E tier first. E tier. Galleon. Galleon, I'm putting in C tier. It's an average boss. Don't really feel too strongly about it. It's just there. Okay. God Tamer. God Tamer is a boss. I not gonna lie, I don't think this should have been the boss for the last for the last trial in the Colosseum. But I think what would have made this boss harder to do is if you killed the beast, the tamer itself becomes super enraged and then it fights you as well. Because in this battle, it's just more like fighting the beast than the tamer, which I don't really like. And because of that, I'm putting this guy in D tier. Next, we have Gorb. Gorb's a very standard boss. It's like most of dream, the dream bosses or something like that. Most of them are like really average. Not a lot of them are like have like super memorable attacks or anything like that. Because of that, I'm putting Gorb in C tier, right next to Galleon. Nail Master Sly. Nail Master Sly is one of the better bosses because it's like you don't expect if you go into the game blind, you don't expect to fight him. So I'm gonna put him in A tier because it's just the surprise and also how he like whoops your ass with this giant sword. It's like when I first fought him, I'm like, what? How the fuck did he get? Why is he here? And I thought, oh, it's just gonna be like another run-in-the-mill boss, like kind of like how Aura and Mata were. But nope, it was actually like pretty difficult as well. And I like how he used all of the nail arts which you learned, which is nice. Yeah. Next we have Grey King Zote and Grey Prince Zote. I mean, he ain't a king yet. He ain't no king yet. And because of that, I'm making a whole new category for him. and he is gonna be you know what? I'm gonna give him his king stats. Great King Zot. No, wait, I fuck, one sec. Great King Zot. Going up there. Next we have Gruzmother. Gruzmother, I'm gonna go with E tier. Because this boss gets like, I just don't like this boss a lot. Not because it's like annoying or anything. It's a very boss, in my opinion. Nothing really to say about that. Hive Knight. My friend Hive Knight is S tier. I know you guys are gonna be like, why the fuck are you putting him in S tier? Because I like his design so much. He has one of the best OSTs in the game. Um his attacks are also memorable. I know like you guys like, oh, he's just a regular knight. No. I liked his bees attack. I liked the spiky attack as well. Overall, this boss is almost perfect. And like in Pantheons, not in the Pantheons. If you find him in Godhome, it's actually hard to beat him on Radiant. Yeah, it's like hard to beat him because of that. And because of that, I like this boss so much. Hornet, easy A tier, but Hornet Sentinel, I'm gonna put an S tier. I just put a Hornet Sentinel above Hornet because it gets more attacks. Simple as that. I mean, this is kind of obvious. We'll do Mantis Lords and Sisters of Battle as well. Mantis Lords, easy at Mantis Lords and Sisters of Battle, easy S tier. Because of, just, they're like the I forgot their names. I'm such an idiot. One sec. Let me just. What the fuck? Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. One sec. Battle man. Mantis Lords. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot, bro. Yeah. So the Mantis Lords, I like them a lot because they're super fast paced and all that, and you can get behind like the battle. It's fast paced. You need a lot of you need skill for this battle so you don't die and you don't get overwhelmed or anything. And that's the same for Sisters of Battle. But what makes Sisters of Battles better is like as soon as you kill one of them, you thought, oh, it's just gonna be like the Mantis Lords. But nope, all three of them stand up and they come to whoop your ass, which I like so much, and it just gets like so much harder, which I really love. Marcotte F tier, fuck you. Radiant Marcotte, blah blah blah. Still haven't beat him because fuck this guy. Marmu average, so that is that's C tier along with the other Dream people. NKG Nightmare King Grim, one of the best OSTs I've heard. Really good attacks, very good background. I like the storyline of Grim. Because of that, I'm giving my boy here S tier above Absolute Radiance. No Eyes, very mid. Not mid, he's like a little bit below mid, so I'm giving him D tier. Actually, E tier because I just don't like his Whisperings. Whispering's annoying, his attacks basic as hell. Yeah, just arm ahead of these guys because he's cute. Nosk. Before we do that, Wing Nosk is down here. Should have been created. So Nosk. Nosk, I like the background behind this guy. The background's like, oh, you think you met like another one of yourselves, but nah. He's out to get you or something. So, I'ma put him in B tier because of the story, but the fight itself drags it down a lot. Because all he does is spray acid, run, jump. That's it. Which I wish they could have done more with the attacks. Oblobbles, fuck these guys, bro. On my first playthrough and when I got to the second trial in the Coliseum, I hated these guys so much because I couldn't get past them because it was like I just couldn't dodge their attacks because for some reason my brain was like, you know what? They'll be easy. Like all they do is just spray acid attacks. But no, these guys took ages, and because of that, I just have distaste for them. So they're E. Sheo. Sheo. I don't know. It's like Paint Master or something like that. So I'm gonna go Sheo above the Sisters of Battle and Hornet for me at least. Actually, no, not above. Actually, let's order this up a little. Yeah, like that. Yeah. So I like then I like Paint Guy over here because he is a very unique boss. All the other bosses use swords or acids or something like that or spikes, but this man over here, this man is one of the best bosses because he uses a fucking paintbrush. He whoops your ass with a fucking paintbrush using multiple colors and multiple attacks. And because of that, he is S tier. Okay. Next, we have Pure Vessel. Pure Vessel S tier. Better version of Pure Vessel. Better version of the Hollow Knight. S tier. I'm gonna put him above. Yeah, nice, you're above them, yeah. The Radiance. Radiance I'm gonna put in A tier. He's a good boss. He's a really good, like, final boss-ish. But I like Absolute Radiance better because that feels more like end game boss, because it's like I fought regular Radiance a lot, and because of that, like I'm just used to fighting. I can like beat him on my like second attempt or something like that. So, but like like the Radiant Absolute Radiance is like I just wish like the original boss was like that. Soul Master and Tyrant. I think it's Soul Master. I know one of them's called Soul Tyrant. I'm sorry, I just forget the names. Soul Master. Yeah, Soul Master and Soul Tyrant. Both I like a lot, but they're both in. I'm putting Soul Tyrant A tier and Soul Master B tier. Putting Soul Master B tier because on my first playthrough I lost to this guy like so much because I didn't realize he had like a second stage to him. Soul Warrior is like C tier, very basic attacks. Really hard when you first find him, but in like Colosseums and Pantheons and all that, he is super easy to predict. Collector, I'm putting C tier as well. Yeah, Collector I'm putting. Oh, come on, man. Yeah, Collector I'm putting C tier as well. Like the story behind him. I like how it implies that he like killed the people where you get the Tower of Love key from. I like how he's the one behind like capturing all like the grubs and all that stuff, and because of that, I like him. I like how he doesn't give any souls, so you have to kill them, like the little tiny guys before you get to him, which is nice. But actually, because of me just talking like that, putting him in B tier. Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is a great boss. S tier. I'm putting him at the end of S tier because there's a better version of him, but I like the storyline behind this guy. It's like you fight him, it's like, oh, he's pretty easy, and then you realize he's crumbling for the infection. Then he realizes it also. He stabs himself over and over and over again. So yeah, he is a pretty nice guy. Trader Lord B tier. High B tier, yeah. Highest B tier. I like the storyline behind this guy. His attacks are fine. It's just like A, I wish he didn't kill Cloth, and B, hard as balls when you first fight him. And C, it's hard if you're like on your first playthrough. It's hard to get to the boss battle itself. At least for me, it was. Regular Grim, Troop Master Grim. Putting my guy here in A tier only because we have a better version of him in S tier. Yeah. So let me just. Oh fuck. Put it right there. Yeah. So yeah. So regular Troop Master Grim A tier. Good, good attacks, good design, good OST. Simple. Umu F tier. I'm sorry, but I just don't like this boss. Actually, I'm gonna put him in E tier because of his. Uh, Umu's just Umu's just a not is not good boss. Uh, yeah. I just wish like it had more of a personality because the first battle was fine because you find him with Quarrel and all that. Quarrel, but like he shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been one of the main boss battles. Like you have to fight this guy. People like people like Hive Knight, Pure Vessel, you don't have to fight them to beat the basic game. But they're so much better than this guy. Because of that, I'm putting him. They're not fucking F tier. I'm sorry, Quarrel, but the boss itself is F tier. Benchfly King, E T, F tier. Not really much going with that. Watcher Knight, hard as balls. I love it a lot. A tier. Not really much to say about it. You need a lot of skill to fight this guy. White Defender, just a better version of Dung Defender with earthbending powers, so A tier. Zorn, E tier, very forgettable. Yeah, I just like forgot about this guy. Like I fought him on my first playthrough and on my second playthrough. I'm like, huh? I entered Godhome before finding this guy because I looked through all the pantheons and one of the pantheons was unlocked. I'm like, who am I missing? I'm pretty sure I got everyone. Searched it up on the wiki and boom. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot Zorn. And lastly, my boy Zod from the first Coliseum fight. This is like one of the funniest battles, and because of that, it saves him from being E or F tier. So it's like,